Hi all, welcome back to another session on Mulesoft. So in this, I wanted to talk about how oAuth can be used in Mulesoft. So in this demo, I would like to show how Mulesoft act as provider for oAuth and generate the credentials for us. So in this, what I'll be doing is first, I'll be using the oAuth functionalities and create client ID and client secret, and then leverage the use of oAuth to create the tokens and validate the tokens and see if this works properly or not. So let's see. So here I've created a project called oAuth demo, and I wanted to use something called oAuth. So let me remove this modules for now, and I'll show you how you have to create the new modules. So in this, first I'll search if there is any oAuth, but these are related to context and all, so I don't need it. So but I wanted to use the oAuth providers. Yeah, so you can use the oAuth providers and all those details here where for creating the uh, oAuth configurations. So I just clicked on oAuth provider here, so it has create client, delete client, revoke client, and validate tokens, or create client, delete client, revoke token, and validate token. So create client is used to create the client credentials. So you can create the credentials from here. Right now I see there are no credentials, so I'll just click on add. So here I'll say oAuth, and I'll create the HTTP listener for it. Okay. So, and it says that I need to have client store for storing the client credential data. Click on plus. Right now this is not there. So what I'll do is I'll just see if we have something called object store. Yeah, we have object store here. So I'll create a global element here called object store. Yeah, I'll go to the exchange and add object store. Finish. I'll go and click on create client again and click plus. So the HTTP listener is created. Now it's time for client store. Just come place and say client create store. Keep it as persistent and then click OK. Yeah. And the supported grant types, I'll keep it as client credentials for this demo and leave the rest as is for the client store. Now you can see that you have something called token config, and I wanted to edit this and see what is there in that. And it has given me the default paths slash token. I can change it, but I wanted to use it default. So I want this is used for storing the client ID and client secret. Now I wanted to have another store for storing the tokens. I'll click on plus. I'll just say here token store and click OK, and just click OK, and that's it. This is done. And I'll get the client ID details from header. So I'll use headers dot client ID. So I'll get from there. And this type should be confidential, otherwise there will be an error. So the secret also I'll create for the first time. I'll get it from this guy, from the headers part only. So this is done. Now in the authorized grant types, I wanted to store this as an array because these can be multiple. So that's the reason we need to use as arrays here. So I'll keep it as flight credentials. Yeah, in array, and then save it. So, and also I need a listener to create this. So I'll keep the listener as source here and the path as uh, OAuth demo. And this should use the allowed methods as post and save. So what we have created till now. So first I'm trying to create the client. Once the client is created, then I'll invoke the service to get the token. And once the token is there, then I'll write a service to validate the token. First, let's create the client. So to this guy, yeah, I'll see what's the path here. It's OAuth demo. I'll go here, keep it as post TP slash local 80 81 slash OAuth demo. Then I'll pass client ID and client credentials. So we said that we are passing the client ID and client credentials in the header. So rightfully, I'll just pass here. This should be done only one time just for creating the tokens. So I'll say mu 34. Yeah, same thing here. Secret and secret. So once I click on this, if everything is correct, then it should create the uh, sorry, first I didn't run it right. So let me also do one thing. I'll set a payload. If this is working fine, then say that client created successfully. Save. Now I need to run this. Let's run and see what happens now. See, client is created successfully, and I got the message as 200. Okay, with that changes, it has accepted that. So the authorized grant type should be in capital letters, and then what I need to do next is once this is done, I wanted to generate the token, right? So same thing. See, okay, the token thing is already created there, and we need to pass the uh, what's that the grant type now. Grant type. Grant type is client credentials. So it will give me a token now. Once I run it, if the thing is successful. Using mandatory parameter grant. Yeah. See, it has generated me a token now. So now that we got the token, what we need to do next is create one more service. And here, see, validate the oAuth provider. Let's drag and drop this. Let's say validate my token here. So here what happens in this expression is created by default. It is taking the header part authorization and it is splitting by space. So and it is extracting the first after extracting the token, like I mean it is splitting by space there. So we'll be giving as bearer space token name. So it is splitting based on space, and at runtime what happens is this functionality will be this token will be sorry, it comes to the access token and it takes the first element of it. Zeroth element is bearer, first element is token, so it will take that there. And let's save. So for this to run, the source is validate token, so I'll take the validate token, go here, and in this along with this token I'll say uh, authorization, let's say bearer space token name, and then click send. Sorry, it is building in the background now. Just wait for some time. So when it is building up, we can't access it. So it is done now. So let's send. See, it has given us the token 200 and the client ID also it has mentioned. Now let's say if I wanted to corrupt this and click send, it will say this is not valid. So that's the use of validate token. So anyone can't intercept our token generated. So we need to use this validate token to do the wallet authentication. So this is how Mulesoft act as OAuth provider in this case. Hope you like the session. Thank you. But it's still running.